So how much does a track day cost with your motorcycle? I recently went to the track and I got a full list for you. So let's go through it. Oh. All right, here we go. Looking good. So one of the things on my bucket list was to bring this bike to the track, and I made that happen. It was actually really fun. It was a cool experience. Check out the video on my channel and you get to see what it's like for a novice rider like me to go to their first track day. Now, I've been to track days before with cars and going through the extreme experience and doing those fun things, but never on a motorcycle. So it was life-changing. It was great because you start to learn truly how to lean the motorcycle in, lean angles, comfortability with the throttle, with the brakes. It's actually less about being snappy and being as smooth as you can be, because then you're going to be the fastest. I mean, there's so many tips and tricks that you learn just by doing it, even if it is a novice class, even if you're going 40 miles an hour. You learn so much from that you can bring to the street and be a safer rider. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about how much it cost me. Now, this is a big question that I get a lot. Track days are too expensive. The guys that go always have these super nice bikes and haulers and, professionally fit race suits and everything matches. And, that's just too much for me. I can't do it. Well, you can. I put everything together pretty much secondhand and tried to be as cheap as possible for this first day. And I tell you what, when I tallied it all up and I looked at that final number, it's kind of scary. But then when you think about it, comparing it just to buying a brand new race suit, it's the same price. And that's one thing that you need compared to the full list. So we'll go through, we'll start with my body, what I needed as far as gear goes. We'll go through the bike, what I needed to do to prep it and at the track. And then we're gonna go through what the actual track day cost as far as fees and getting there. That's a thought too. How do you get there? Because I didn't have a trailer hitch on my car. So thanks to my father, he was able to bring a trailer. But let's start with my gear. So first thing that you're gonna need is a helmet. Now, if you already have a helmet to ride on the street, most of the time those will work, but it needs to be a full face helmet. So you can't wear a dirt bike helmet, you can't wear a modular helmet, has to be full face. And depending on the organization, it's gonna need to be Snell approved. So if you don't know what Snell approved is, Google works, but there's DOT, there's Snell, and there's other ones that are across the world in the country. But Snell is the one that they really look for. Honestly, when I was there, they didn't really check. My helmet cost me $85. Yes, $85, and that was shipped. So I found it on OfferUp. I got it from a company out in California that said it had damages, which it honestly didn't. It's perfectly clean, no scratches, and there you go. So that saved me easily another 200 bucks right there instead of buying new. I also bought a smoked visor. That was $44.95 from Amazon. That helps. Again, I don't want just a clear visor out there. I want something a little bit darker. So in case it is sunny, like those times that you saw on that track day, it's important to have. I also got a GoPro mount from Ride Tech Moto, and I put that on the chin of the helmet, and that cost me $31.55 shipped, taxes out the door. In reality, I couldn't use it on the track.
Not supposed to have helmet mounted camera.
So worthless. So save yourself the $31.55 and just don't buy it. You're gonna need to safety wire it on there, so don't worry about it. Next big piece is the suit. Now, most tracks require a full one-piece leather suit, or you can do the two-piece zip-togethers, and there's some other variations and so on and so forth, so make sure you check the regulations of your local track and the association putting on the track day. But I bought that suit for weight, $160. Another OfferUp find that the guy was awesome, gave me a deal on it, shipped out. Actually, it's in really pretty good condition. Yeah, there's some scrapes, you can tell the guy fell in it, but no huge tears, no nothing. And for one track day, and probably for a lot more track days to come, 160 bucks to get into a race suit, insane to me. When you look at it, and when we tally up the total of what that day cost me, you could go to Cycle Gear and buy a brand new Alpenstar suit for 1,200 bucks. That's what the day cost me. And just get a suit for 160, I still can't believe it. So that was a huge win there. The boots. Now, I was gonna use my old dirt bike boots, but instead I bought, you know, kind of a nicer pair, you know, of actual track boots. Those cost me $87.91. I bought them from a local Honda dealer close to me. You also need gloves, not just any street riding gloves, not just your normal cuff glove. You need a gauntlet glove. And those gloves go all the way to about the middle of your forearm. Those are important to have because they check for those. Those were brand new, nice Alpenstar SP8 V3s. They're $100 at Cycle Gear. Add some taxes on there, you're looking at $111, $112. So those were important. And also a tip, break them in before you go to the track day. Not like me with a fresh pair of gloves I just ripped the tags off of. Oh, and I really should have broken these gloves in. So in total, as far as everything on my body goes, it cost me a total of $509.41. Now that's insane when you look at some of the Snell rated Shoei helmets that are $600, $700, $800. When you look at brand new suits that are anywhere from $900 to $1,800. When you look at the rest of these things for the gear, it's honestly the most important part, right? Because that's what protects you if you go down. I went the cheaper route to get out there on my first day. Will I upgrade in the future? Probably, when I spend more time getting into it and when I actually put, you know, the time and effort into being a track rider. But for your first one, to get out there, heck, walking away at $500 works really well. So then what did I have to do to the bike? So I've had to prep it for a few things, obviously change oil, coolant, brake flush, you know, lube the chain, clean it up, so on and so forth, just to make sure it's running properly for that track day. I wouldn't want to go into it with old oil in there. I want to make sure I've got fresh fuel. I want to make sure I've got fresh brake fluid because you use them a lot. And the chain too, don't forget about lubing that chain because you burn through it. I think I applied chain lube 2 or 3 times when I was out there on the track. Is that the best way to do it? I don't know, but I noticed it was kind of getting a little bit on the sketchy side, so I added to it. So what did all that cost me? So first thing I got was an oil change kit for the KTM 690. That cost me $68.92, and you can find them on Amazon. That's all your filters and your nuts and everything like that. Important to have a few of those on hand at all times. The oil itself, 2 liters of it was $46. Bought that at Cycle Gear. The chain cleaning brushes, I mean, those were $8.98. Again, Amazon. The chain lube itself was at Cycle Gear, $12.91. Engine ice, all right, some coolant. That was $24.55. One thing that you definitely need to throw in the bag when you go to a track day is safety wire. Now this is something that I kind of read and was looking into. Do I have to safety wire every bolt, every nut, every key component on the brakes, on this and yada yada? Not for the novice group. You know, I'm not out there as a professional. When you start moving up in classes, I'm sure they will make you, but you have to replace all those bolts. You can't just wrap it around. But I didn't do that, but I bought some and put it in the bag anyway. So for the safety wire, it cost me $4 at Harbor Freight for the wire itself. And then for those safety wire twisty pliers, it cost me $13. Honestly, they suck. I have to get a new pair. But they did come in handy when I had to zip tie my kickstand and I kept braking because I'd sit down, compress the suspension, and they would go. So I just ended up safety wiring it and it held really nicely. So it's always good to have, even though you might not need it. With the brakes, I had to do .5 brake fluid. Make sure I got, you know, a canister of that to bring to the track with me as well in case I have any issues. That was $21.56. I bought syringes from Amazon. Those were $15.29, and that's just so I can back bleed. That's honestly the only way I know how to do it, and it works really well. I've never used one of those compression tubes or anything like that. Every single time it's been pretty simple, so you can find those on Amazon. So in total, to get this bike prepared for that track day, cost me $215.21. Now that saved me a ton of labor at my dealer that quoted me, I think, $500 something to do all of that to get a track day prep package. And honestly, you can learn a lot about your motorcycle just by doing it yourself. So coming out of it, 215 in, yeah, I would say pretty darn good. So last list. Now, we've gone through all the gear, we've gone through what I've done to the bike to get it ready. What did the day actually cost me? because you don't just go to the track for free, you gotta pay for it. So I went through motovid.com with MCC's track day, and being in the novice group, not being on a track, going through all the classes, yada yada, all the fun stuff, that cost me $219. Not bad for a full day at the track. It also cost a full tank of gas to get there and back, so that was $71.94. If you've got your own car, or if you need to rent a U-Haul or something along those lines, it will cost you more, so keep that in mind. I also filled my 5-gallon jug of fuel. Now, you don't think about it when you're riding around out there and your fuel light comes on and you still got 2 or 3 sessions left in the day. You go, oh shit. Because the fuel on site, I think it was close to $6 or something along those lines. I mean, crazy expensive. So make sure you bring some of your own fuel. So 5 gallons cost me $21.36. Then add in water, snacks, some energy drinks, whatever else you want to put in the cooler, you know, buying lunch that day, give or take $100 to kind of round that out. So the entire day from those fees and, you know, all the intricacies cost me $412.30. So I would say pretty good. So all in all, when we've gone through the entire list and we've seen everything that I've gone through, everything that I prepped, everything that I had to buy, all the fees associated with going to the track, what was the total? So the total for everything for that one day of riding on the track cost me $1,136.92. Now, at first you're thinking, holy smokes, that's $1,100 to go to the track for one day. Are you nuts? Well, you know, a little bit, yes. But there's a lot of things in there that you're gonna have to do every time, and a lot of things that you'll only really have to do once. For example, the gear. I don't need to buy another helmet unless I want to. I don't need to buy new gloves unless I tear through them or wear them out. I don't need to buy a new suit unless I, wear through it or tear it out. I don't need to buy another pair of boots unless I wear through or tear them out. So I've got that bag of gear that I can use for the next couple years. So that saves me the $509 every single time I want to go to the track. When it comes to the servicing on the bike, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. If you're changing oil, if you're doing your coolant, if you're checking your brakes, if you're buying all these extra fluids and tools and so on and so forth. But buy once, cry once. I've got this huge bag of syringes that I got from Amazon, and I've got those probably for the life of this bike, so I don't have to buy that again. Oil, I'll have to purchase again. Brake fluid, I probably won't have to purchase for another couple brake changes. I'll probably have to put new brakes on it. One of the other things is you go through tires pretty quickly out on the track. Luckily, these held up pretty well, so I probably won't need to get a new set this year. Starting next year, I probably will. If I move up in advance and I look more to just do track days, probably going through tires a lot more, so that's an added cost for down the road. But all in all, it's also just good maintenance to do the bike, to keep it fresh, to keep it running, to keep it in tip-top performance shape. And then the track fees. Yeah, all right, we can do that. That's not bad. That's going to be an every time cost, but to get out there and to learn some of those experiences, 100% worth it. So all in all, I think it was a pretty darn good investment. I'm set up for the next few track days. The bike is fresh, serviced, ready to go for the rest of the season. All I have to do is then winterize it come late October, November, and we're ready to go. It was a ton of fun, and I encourage everybody to try to get out to the track at least once. I will give you the warning that as soon as you go out there, that bug will bite you and you will want to keep going, because I'm already trying to figure out the next time I can get back to the track. But if I didn't hit anything on this list, or you guys noticed something that I didn't bring up, put it in the comments below, let me know. But I also want to hear how your first track day went, or some other things that me as a novice, I don't know yet. I mean, there could be things that I walk into that I don't even remember that I needed. So with that, I'll leave you guys to it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more and definitely future track days. And remember, keep riding.